Seerah Stories presents A Life Worth Knowing. Episode 3, The Opening of the Chest. Haleema returned to her people in the desert with the child of 2 months in her arms, expecting little more than the comfort of having fulfilled her duty with no pay in return. Yet from the moment she crossed the boundary of her land, things began to change. Her once weak riding animal moved with unexpected strength, outpacing others who had left Makkah long before her. The dryness that had gripped her home for months seemed to loosen its hold. Where there had been scarcity, there was now abundance, steady and undeniable. When Haleema reached her tent, her family noticed the change at once. Their livestock, thin and tired from drought, returned from grazing full and satisfied. Her goats gave more milk than they ever had before, not only enough for her family, but for guests as well. Neighbors watched with curiosity as Haleema's household prospered, while the land around them remained unchanged. They often asked her, "Where do you graze your animals?" She would honestly answer, "In the same place as you." Yet the blessing remained only with her household. The baby, Muhammad, grew into a strong and healthy child in the open desert, living with the people of the Banu Sa tribe beneath vast skies and burning sun. He was gentle with animals, careful with words, and unusually thoughtful for one so young. He did not cry without cause, nor did he harm or tease as other children sometimes did. Even in play, there was a calmness about him, as though he were guided by an inner balance. As the seasons passed, with regular return visits to see his mother Amina, the desert air sharpened his speech, and his presence brought peace to those around him. As was custom for all foster mothers, once Muhammad reached the tender age of 2, it was time to return him to his mother, Amina. However, Haleema was overwhelmed by the blessings of this child and made up several excuses to Amina to allow her to foster Muhammad for a while longer, despite receiving little payment. Amina, seeing the love that Haleema showed for Muhammad, agreed, and Muhammad remained in the continued care of Haleema. Haleema watched him closely, her affection deepening as the years passed. Though she had taken him as a foster child, her heart treated him as her own. One afternoon, as the sun stood high above the desert, Muhammad, now age 4, was playing with the other children near the palm groves on the other side of the tents. Laughter from the children echoed across the sand, until suddenly everything grew still. The wind stopped, and the desert seemed to hold its breath. Out of the uneasy stillness, the angel Jibreel suddenly appeared before him. The children saw the figure approach and watched in fright as Jibreel seized Muhammad and lay him gently but firmly upon the ground. Fear overtook the other children, and they fled. Jibreel then opened Muhammad's chest, though astonishingly, Muhammad felt no pain. From his chest, the angel removed his heart and placed it in a golden vessel filled with water drawn from the blessed well of Zamzam. As the heart was cleansed in the water, a small black portion was removed as Jibreel declared, "This is Shaitan's portion in you." When the cleansing was complete, the heart was returned to Muhammad's chest, and his body was closed once more. Though he had been frightened by the event, Muhammad remained unharmed, calm, and whole. Only a faint line remained upon his chest as a sign of what had occurred. The children ran back toward Haleema in a panic, their voices tangled over one another. Fear clung to their words as they cried out that Muhammad had been taken. The commotion startled the flock, and the goats began bleating wildly, stamping and circling. Before the children could finish explaining, Haleema was already moving. Her heart pounded as she ran, her breath tight with dread, her eyes searching the open land. Every step carried a single, piercing thought. Where is he? She found him not far away, alone. There was no one else in sight. The sky was empty, the land still, as if nothing extraordinary had happened at all. Muhammad was awake, not crying or screaming. However, the color had drained from his usually vibrant face. His small body seemed unnaturally still, and an unease gripped Haleema as she rushed to him and pulled him into her arms. He was cold to touch, and her hands trembled as she held him tighter. Though he was safe, worry filled her heart. Fear mixed with awe. She felt the responsibility of caring for a child blessed by the heavens. After this event, she feared that something beyond her understanding was unfolding. Acting out of love and concern, she hastily decided it was safer to return him to his mother, Amina, in Makkah. In truth, what frightened her was a sign of the great destiny Allah had prepared for him. As she prepared for the journey back to Makkah, to Amina, Haleema looked upon her home, once marked by hardship, now overflowing with gratitude. She knew that the blessings she had received were not meant to last forever, but the memory of them would remain. And as Muhammad left the desert, he carried with him the strength of its silence, the purity of its skies, and the patience of its wide open spaces. Qualities that would one day steady a nation and illuminate the world. The desert had shaped him, and the world would soon be shaped by him. Like, share, and subscribe as we journey through a life worth knowing. Join us as we continue the story in episode 4.